Hey guys and gals, this is your boy JR, aka Lone Wolf Bushcraft. Welcome to the Lone Wolf Bushcraft live show. I'm going to share with you a little bit about bushcrafting. This book right here is written by Dave Canterbury. It's called Bushcraft 101, a field guide to the art of wilderness survival. And I'm going to just go over a few things that's in this book. In chapter 1, it goes over, chapter 1 goes over the 5 C's, packs and overview, carry your wool blankets, rucksacks, pack frames, pack baskets, tump lines, haversacks, personal carry kit for travel afoot, and tips and tricks for your pack. So that's all in chapter 1 of Bushcraft 101. A field guide to the art of wilderness survival. So that's what's in chapter 1. Chapter 2 is its knives, knife safety grips, batoning, notches, shear cuts, knife care, saws, and saw safety. So that's in chapter 2 of the tools area. Oh, whoops, there's more on the tools area. Sorry, I forgot to turn the page over. So the other one, it's saw care, axes, grinds, safe handling and use, splitting firewood, processing firewood, felling, limbing, bucking, notching, batoning with the axe. Axe care, sharpening, always carry wedges, tips and tricks for use of your tools. And then chapter 3 is its cords, ropes, webbing, mule tape, making natural cordage, basic useful camp notches, lashing, bindings, toggles, tips, tricks, rope, and cordage. So that's what's in chapter 3. Chapter 4 is containers and cooking tools. And what's really neat about that's so funny reading about containers and cooking tools. A lot of people in a lot of the outdoor channels where they're showing off gear or where they're showing off bushcrafting, people really love to watch people in the outdoor community cook. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, in chapter 4, it's going to cover containers, cooking tools, water bottles, canteens, cups, pots, pot handling, skittles, meat rotisserie, planks, tools for food handling, and cooking irons, stoves, burners, tips, tricks for cooking in the field. So since I really love food, I'm going to have to really pay attention to that one. So yeah. And then chapter 5, it's coverage, tarps, tarp tents, polyurethane and silk nylon canvases, oilcloth, ground pads, browse bags, emergency thermal blankets, hammocks, sleeping bags, wool blankets, natural shelters, tips, tricks for smarter coverage. And chapter 6 is all about combustion. Lighters, ferrocerium rods, magnification lens, sunglass, knife, axe blades, friction fire sticks. Friction fire is my favorite thing to do, especially when it's a ferro rod. Charring tins, tips and tricks for safe and successful fires. I have a few kits right here. I'm already pretty comfortable with using a ferro rod. But in this particular kit, it has a lighter. It's got a lighter here. And there's my flint. And the other thing, this is really cool because you can do a bow drill fire. This notch right here, you just put it right in there. Hey, hi RS, how's it going? That's the person commenting below. But anyways, you put your put your stick right there, and then you hold it right here, and then you go like this with your bow drill. I've yet to do a bow drill fire, but in this case, you already got your tinder set up, and you take your flint, and of course, you're hitting this up against, and it causes sparks. So this is one I haven't tried, which is the flint and steel. But this is one kit. Another kit, this kit's really cool. It's called the Hudson Bay kit. And once again, the friction fires I'm most used to doing is a ferro rod. But this one's really cool because it's a Hudson Bay kit. And the neat thing about it, you take this off, and at the very top, it's got a magnifying glass. So if you want to save your tinder, you can take this magnifying glass and use the sun to start a friction fire. So that's pretty cool. That's a magnification lens right there. The story behind this is really neat. The fact that it's in a tin, it keeps the tinder materials that are easily lit here. There's some material tinder right there. Here, I'll show you guys. So what we hear is we got our steel, and we got our variety. There's our flint there. And then this is a variety of our charred tinder already. So back in the day, some of these wooden ships that they, basically there's a good need for the Hudson Bay thing. It keeps all your charred material here. All your charred materials right here. And the fact that it's in a tin, it keeps it safe from igniting. So I don't know how long ago it took them to figure that out. But anyways, it's really good that the charred material's in a tin here with the flint and steel. And like I said, I definitely need to practice with the flint and steel. But it's really cool because charred material is easier to light when you're outdoors. So this is really cool to have, and I'm having trouble putting it back in there. Put my flint there. I'm rearranging my flint here. There we go. I got it closed. But anyways, I love the fact that I can ignite a fire with this. I love the fact that this lid comes off, and then I can easily pop this off. Let me pop it off. And I love the fact that I can start a fire with this magnifying glass here. So, but yeah, and I love brass. I love the color of brass. So that's the other reason I selected this this particular kit. I really liked it. So our other kit is, so that was the Hudson Bay kit. Here's the other kit. It's a little bit more simpler. We got our steel here. There's our steel. And then we got our flint. And then we have a candle wick. So, and like I said, I've yet to get used to the flint and steel. But I'm going to start practicing with flint and steel. I'm very comfortable with lighting a fire with a ferro rod. Yeah, I'm very comfortable with lighting a ferro rod. You just you got your ferro rod in hand, and then you just take the back of your blade and start sparks with your ferro rod, which is really cool. Thumbs up. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. Thanks for someone just told me they're done. That means that they've subscribed to the channel. Thanks so much for subscribing. My name is JR, aka Lone Wolf Bushcraft. Thanks so much for the subscribe. I appreciate it. And this is the very first live stream I'm doing. So yeah, I'm excited. It's pretty awesome. And then I started off introducing this book called Bushcraft 101, a field guide to the art of wilderness survival. That's how I started off my live. This book is written by Dave Canterbury, who's really awesome. Yeah, thanks so much. Let's see if I can pronounce it. Maureen, Michelle, and Ken Vlog. Cool. Thanks so much. You guys and gals rock. I appreciate it. So I just covered over these different styles of kits that we use out in the woods. And okay, we went over tarps. And I just talked about metification and combustion. So that was all in chapter 6. Chapter 7 is setting up camp. And in chapter 7, you'll recover it's called the 4Ws: camp hygiene, tarps and tarp setup, and firecraft. And also in chapter 7, it's going to be starting material, fire lays, log fires, Dakota fire pits, keyhole fires, tips and tricks for your camp. And I've already said in this live that I love building campfires. There's nothing like setting up your tent, setting up your, like the last time I went camping, I set up my tent. I also set up a hammock, and then I built got my campfire going, and then I started making myself dinner that night. So that was pretty cool. What's up, Dick's Marley Vlog? How's it going? Welcome to the live. I'm going over the Bushcraft 101 Field Guide to the Art of Wilderness Survival. That's what the live show is going on today. And yes, Dex Marley Vlog, I do love camping. I do love to go camping. I have a funny story. One time I went camping. My little family, I think the only way they will go camping with me, I'll have to rent a log cabin and take them camping, because I was kind of roughing it. I didn't rough it too bad. After I had my camp set up, I pay a little extra money to be in walking distance to modern showers and restroom facilities. So, after I've been doing a bunch of chores all day, I love just strolling down there and taking a quick shower before I go jump into my sleeping bag. So, the other thing my campsite had, it also had electric hookup. So, but yet I still love learning about this wilderness survival stuff just as a backup in case I'm not in a place like that. But yeah, bushcrafting is really more about thriving out in the woods. That's what it's really about. It's really about thriving in the woods and having a good time. Same thing when I go camping. I'm not trying to play Survivor Man when I'm out camping. I bring my favorite drinks. I bring my favorite food. And to me, that's what camping's really all about. Hey, Belle, how's it going? Thanks for joining the live, Belle. So, like I said, to me, that's what camping's really about. It's about bringing your favorite food and also just enjoying yourself. And I think the last time I went camping, I only got to stay out one night. I could have stayed out 2 nights, but I think I went on a weekend where it was really, really booked. But I did get to stay out one night, which was pretty cool. That will help us a lot. Cool. That's cool. I learned lately I've been hitting a lot of Filipino live streams, and they really go camping for a long time, and some Americans do too. But what I learned is some people in the Philippines, they'll camp for a whole week. And so I imagine they're bringing all kinds of grocery loads, depending on how many people they have in their party. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, for the most part, when I go camping, it's really to go have fun and have a good time. Good to see that you're doing also live stream hosts. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. So yeah, this is, I am glad I'm doing the live stream, which is pretty cool. I'm having a good time with it. And I'm having fun with talking to people in the chat. And once again, I'm going over Bushcraft 101, a field guide to wilderness survival. Chapter 8 is going to be navigation, the terrain, compass, basic compass use, understanding terrain features and map, orienting yourself to a map, measuring distance and taking bearings, 5 navigation methods every woodsman should know, reverse and back azimuths, determining distance when traveling, finding yourself in self-mapping, obstacles. They use an acronym for the navigation in chapter 8. It's called PAL, and it stands for Positive AZIMOUTH, Uniform and Layout. Figure daylight hours, tips, tricks for successful navigation. And once again, that's going to be in chapter 8 of this one. Chapter 9 is trees, the 4-season resource, pines, willows, poplars, black walnut, sassafras, oaks, tips and tricks for making use of trees. So a lot of bushcrafters, what's up, Bill? A lot of bushcrafters will use trees for, of course, fire making, but also for shelter building as well. And I'm sure that's all going to be in Chapter 9 of Bushcraft 101, Field Guide to Wilderness Survival. Chapter 10 is going to involve trapping and processing game. Now, that's something I've not done, but I'm definitely going to have to read over this chapter. I've watched a lot of outdoors people process squirrels, chipmunks. I watched them process fish, and I know when they process fish or when they process other kind of animals, they try to make sure they really get the intestines out of there. In some cases, they try to make sure they don't spill any of the intestines when they're either filleting a fish or also processing a squirrel and stuff like that. I have not done that. Let me say that once again. I've not done trapping, and I've not processed game. So chapter 10 in this book is going to be really interesting to read, especially since I've not processed game myself. But yeah, the categories in the trapping and processing game is understanding trap components, creating signposts, and bait for trapping. And yeah, so that's what that covers. And also, oh, wait a minute, there's way more categories. Modern traps, improvised trapping materials, the basics of upland trapping, bait traps, water trapping, wow, specialty sets, primitive trapping, deadfall traps, bird traps, small trap kits, fishing with improvised rods. And the improvised rods is cool. I've seen people take fishing net or fishing wire, and they've hooked it to a really long wooden pole, and they basically make a makeshift fishing pole. So I've seen people do that in some of the outdoor. Processing small game, processing other game, preserving meat. So that'll be a really good one to know, preserving meat. Tips and tricks for successful trapping. So yeah. Wow, there's a lot of categories in chapter 10. So, and what I'm hoping when someone rewatches this live stream is stressing that the Bushcraft 101 Field Guide to the Art of Wilderness Survival, it's your basic first book you get when you're getting into bushcrafting. But it's a really good book, and it's even got some really cool, inside the book it's got really cool illustrations and stuff. So, yeah, but yeah, just really cool. And like I said, whenever I go camping, it's not to be Survivor, man. But it's really cool. Even, I would say, especially with the ferro rod, I've used a variety of different ferro rods. I've used really, really small ferro rods. I've used medium-sized ferro rods, and then I've used the ferro rods that are about that long. So, a lot of ferro rods, when you first buy them and they're brand new, they got a kind of a black coating on them. So the first thing you want to do before you start striking it is take a little bit of that black coating off to where you start to see a shiny silver part on the ferro rod. And then, of course, you can take your knife. You'll just take your knife and let's just pretend this is the ferro rod. But anyways, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I don't have to pretend. Okay, I don't have it in here. But anyways, let's say this right here was a ferro rod. Of course, ferro rods went like this. This is the flint and steel. But anyway, you take it and then you just strike down. And once you clear the once you clear the black coating on top of the ferro rod, then you'll just take your knife and you'll strike the ferro rod. And of course, before you do that, you want to make sure you have a good tender built set up. Because in the past, I've made the mistake of not really having fluffed up my tender. But yeah, sometimes I've even started off my fire with just one cotton ball. But you got to make sure you really break up that cotton ball so all the fibers are out there. So when a spark hits that fiber, it immediately locks. So, all right. I think I'm going to hang out here a little bit more. So far, it looks like I've been talking for 20 minutes and 40-some seconds, so that's pretty cool. So I might hang out here a little bit. So that was cool getting some, like I said, this was my first live. And once again, my name is JR, aka Lone Wolf Bushcraft. And tonight I was showing off the Hudson Bay kit. This is another kit. I think a lot of people call this striker a C-ring. And of course, this is a flint and steel. And just kind of take it and then you strike. You basically strike the steel you hold your flint and you just strike it with the steel, and that causes sparks. And the other thing is it comes with a wick, a candle wick, so you can get that going. And then the other one has a little more charred material. Let me show that off. The Hudson Bay. And I love the lid. I love the top of this lid of the Hudson Bay. And of course, it's got a cover where you can protect it. But basically, this is lighting a fire in the sunlight, which is really cool. And then it's inside the Hudson Bay kit. It's got a really basic steel striker there. So yeah, in a lot of the different kits, you get different types of looking steel strikers. Like in the Hudson Bay, it's a basic kind of steel striker. And I picked this up at the Pathfinder School. Self-Reliance Outfitters website. You can pick this Hudson Bay setup. I think I paid $35 for this, but I think on their site it might be $10 more. So, and then this kit here, this kit's got the striker and the candle wick thing. But yeah, I love the color of this Hudson Bay kit, and I love the fact that it has a story about it. That a lot of the trappers had the Hudson Bay kit, which was really cool. I love the fact that they did that. So when picking up some materials of my bushcrafting thing, I love picking up gear items that have a little old history. In the book, it does go over some of the brief histories of mountain men and also bushcrafters and pioneers and stuff. So that is talked about a little bit in the book here, in the Bushcraft 101 Field Guide to the Art of Wilderness Survival. This is written by Dave Canterbury. Like I said, this is the very first book a lot of people sometimes get when they're getting into bushcrafting. I still need to read the rest of it because they got some more advanced bushcrafting thing. So this is a really good one to get, especially if you're just hitting the floor and getting into bushcrafting for the first time. And I'm excited about using some of these kits because, like I said, I'm just now getting into doing the flint and steel. For the long time, I've been doing the ferro rod lighting. So, or I can safely say I'm comfortable with using a lighter, matches, and of course the ferro rod. But I do need to get myself comfortable with using a variety of different steel strikers in the flint. So in some of Dave Canterbury's videos, he talks about how to find flint. Like, let's say you had steel on you, but you didn't have flint on you. He in some of his videos, he talks about how to find a variety of different rocks that act just like the flint, or how to find a flint rock. So, of course, if you go to the Self-Reliance Outfitter store, you can go ahead and get both. And then I love this steel striker because I haven't done the bow drill fire starting, but I love that you can place what you do is you place a stick right there. And some of you know what I'm talking about, it's called a bow drill fire. There's one stick at the bottom, and then there's one stick that runs up to this right here, and you put the top of that stick right there, and then you hold it like that. And I think the reason this is this shape, or the reason this particular steel is in this shape, because you can hold it really easy like that, and then you put a stick there. And you put a notch at the very bottom. You kind of notch down below, and of course the stick's going like this. You're kind of doing that, and this is holding that stick down, and so you're going like this, and you're moving the stick, right? And like I said, there's one long stick down at the bottom that you've already notched, so that when you start to create, you'll start to create friction, and also material will stop dropping down in that notch. Once you start to see the stick at the bottom start to smoke, then you'll start to put your tinder more closer to the bottom of that stick. And then, of course, you'll keep going like this with your bow drill, and then you're creating more friction down at the bottom, and eventually small pieces start dropping into your tinder. Once you get your tinder smoking, you start holding your tinder up, and then you start blowing into your tinder. More and more smoke will come. You'll keep blowing into the tinder, and finally it'll start a fire, and then hopefully you have your whole fire array set up before you start your bow drill fire. So, yeah, but even though I do know how to do friction fire. Or now, as far as the flint and steel, I still need to practice with the flint and steel. But I got the using a knife and a ferro rod. I got that down. I can definitely start a campfire with that. But even though I carry a ferro rod with me, and I do know how to make fires with a ferro rod, I still carry a lighter on me. I put these in all my kits. Yeah, I always carry a lighter in my kits, even if I got a ferro rod in the kit. I still do that. I still carry a lighter on me as a backup. Who do we got in the comments? Hey, Danny Lai. He's saying hi to everyone. Zenia Honda. What's happening? Welcome to the live. Thanks for stopping by my live. Tonight I was going over the Bushcraft 101, a field guide to the art of wilderness survival. So that's what I've been going over tonight in my live. I basically was mentioning, hey, I'm doing good. Daddy Wolf is doing good. How's it going? How's it going, my sister? Some of the people coming in on the live are from the Philippines, and so they call each other brothers and sisters. So how's it going, sister? And I've kind of gotten the nickname Daddy Wolf from some of the people in the Philippines, and also some of the people that I go and watch their lives. So yeah, I'm finally doing the live, and I'm on the live stream here. So yeah, I still need the, I'm going to start practicing with the flint and steel. Of course, I love this because it's got a magnification thing. I have done, I've yet to do a campfire, but I know how to use my magnification. So I'm comfortable with magnification. I'm comfortable with flint and steel. I'm doing fine, Dana. Dana Lyon. Daddy Wolf's doing fine. So I like using this. I like using solar to start a fire. I'm comfortable with using the ferro rod. And of course, I always carry a lighter on me as a backup. So, but yeah, once again, for me, camping's really about bringing your favorite food. So yeah, it's really about bringing your favorite food. I am good, Daddy. Have a live stream today, 5 p.m. Philippines time. Cool. I think they're about, in the Philippines, they're about 13 hours ahead. So they're about 13 hours ahead. But yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check out your live stream. So yeah, I think in the, yeah, I don't have a watch on me. Let's see. I think it's 7 something here. So there it might be, it's evening here. So there it might be in the morning there. So wow, if you got a thing, and once again, I'm talking to someone that's in the comments. If you got a thing at 5 p.m., that means I'm getting ready for work at 5 a.m. So I'll be awake. I'll be able to check it out while I'm getting ready for work tomorrow. So yeah, that's the other thing I do. I go and support the other people's live streams. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks for those of you in the chats who've joined me here on the live stream. This was fun to do. I'm glad I got to touch base about the Bushcraft 101 Field Guide to Wilderness Survival. Dave Canterbury is one of my favorite authors. I'm glad I got to share that with you guys and gals here on the Lone Wolf Bushcraft live show here. I'm glad I got to share that with you guys and gals. Also, I'm glad I got to tell you that when I go camping, I don't play Mr. Survivor Dude. I basically bring my favorite foods and also, yeah, it's all about my favorite food and about relaxing. I think, yeah, the last time I went camping, I set up a 2-person tent. I set up my hammock, got my campfire going, and then I believe I had a chicken wrap for dinner. So that was pretty good. I bought all kinds of candy bars. I bought all kinds of Snickers candy bars. I think I had Perrier waters on hand, and I think I had Coca-Cola. And yeah, the only thing I forgot to bring was beer. So I should have brought me some Corona beer because I love to drink Corona. But yeah, when I go camping, it's really to enjoy myself. Sorry if I keep repeating myself. I guess I just like really stressing that when I go camping, it's really to have a good time. So yeah, it really is for me. It's about having a good time. And what I've learned from some of the other Filipino streams that I've hit, and I've hit other lately I'm hitting the smaller channel streams because I'm supporting my brothers and sisters who have smaller channels. When I say brothers and sisters, that's the term that they use in the Philippines with friends that they're making here on YouTube. So occasionally during my lives, you may hear me refer to someone as brother and sister. It's really kind of the Filipino culture thing I'm doing with the people in the live stream. So I may call people that who aren't Filipino, and they may go, "Hey, why are you calling me brother and sister?" So I may just accidentally assume that someone's part of the. There are some Americans that follow the Filipino live streams like I do. I also follow some American live streams as well. But lately, I've been following these Filipino group that's been trying to grow their YouTube channel. So, and that's what I'm trying to do by starting this my first live stream today. So, but yeah. Anyways, I'm glad I got to share my love of camping and of bushcrafting with you guys and gals. So thank you to those guys and gals down in the chat. I appreciate you. And then thanks for those of you who will probably see this video. And thanks for those of you who got to watch this video while it was live streaming. So anyways, take care, guys and gals. I hope you're all doing well out there. Thank you again to the people down in the chats who've stopped by my live stream. I appreciate you. You guys and gals rock. And for those of you who will watch this video later, I appreciate you as well. If you like the content, please hit like and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell, because that way it'll let you know every time I make a new video. Yeah, you guys and gals rock. I really appreciate all the love that's being showed to my channel. Once again, my name's JR, aka Lone Wolf Bushcraft. Hope you guys and gals are, it's nighttime here in the States. In the Philippines, it's morning, so good morning to those folks in the Philippines, and good evening to the folks that are here in the States. Anyways, take care, guys and gals, and I'll talk to you later. Later, Gators. Take care. Peace. Take care, guys and gals. Later.